20,000 people to witness the final team of
to attack out of the back row. Here's the 3-meter line right here. The front row players for the United States, the setter and the 2 hitters. The United States utilizes Timmons right here to hit from behind the 3-meter line. He will get a set from Jeff Stork, and then he will proceed to bomb the ball down the line. And he will take off right here behind the 3-meter line, a tremendous athletic feat. This is the play the Soviets have to stop. They have to get 2 of their blockers out on the line and block.
Let's go.
Is back to serve. To begin, the aisles are filled. 20,000 watch as the U.S. and the Soviets play for the gold, and Craig Buck serves it long. Soviets have the ball. How important is game 1 to either or both teams, Chris?
Very, very important, especially for the Soviets. Let me just expand on that very quickly. When the Soviets have done well against the United States, it's been because they have won the first couple of games. When the United States wins game 1, they usually roll 3-0 or 3-1. But when the Soviets win the first couple of games, they have a better than 50-50 chance of winning.
That was Kuznetsov with the kill. We've traded side outs, and now Kuznetsov serves. 6'6", he's 22. Married, lives in Moscow. Stabertlik, oh, bad. Karai gets it to the net. Timmons right back at him. First point of the match goes to the Soviets.
One key on Bob Stabertlik. He told me if he passes well, he plays well. Number 4 in blue. If he doesn't pass well, it affects him with his hitting.
Karai cross court. Stork. Karai again. Off the hands. He hits it off the hands, the little hands of Losev, the setter.
And that is a terrible matchup for the Soviet Union. Karai going against Losev. Losev, a very small blocker, and I think Marv Dunphy has rotated around, so Karai will be on Losev.
Timmons serves, most valuable player of the '84 tournament. Left-hander. And Tonov hits it on the trademark.
He was named the best spiker in the world in 1985 at the World Cup. You can see why. He has a tremendous swing. Very, very good.
Vilde serves. Soviets lead 1-0. Game 1 gold medal match. Kept alive and over. Free ball now for the U.S. Stork sets. Partey down the line in. U.S. gets the ball. Jeff Stork, the setter. Craig Buck, the middle blocker, number 7. Doug Partey serves. Quick set. Dug by Stabertlik. Karai. And Tonov keeps it alive. Losev. Quick set. Joust at the net. Kept alive. Still legal. Losev, the smallest member for the Soviet team, hits it through the block. Soviets get the ball.
I think actually Losev is one of the weak spots on the Soviet team. Their setting is not very good. They have a very old backup setter, and I think if they do have an Achilles heel, it is at the setting position. They have tremendous hitters.
And the Soviets let it drop. Jeff Stork, the left-handed setter, a former hitter from the outside, still knows how to hammer the ball down. U.S. gets the ball. Soviets lead 1-0. Game 1. Soroka, the team captain.
It's very easy to pick out that I think both teams are a little nervous. It's a big match, obviously, for both teams, and the opening jitters just don't go away until you've played a little while.
Soroka jump serve. It's a good one, but handled well by Timmons. Stabertlik cross court. That's hit off of Ryan Vilde out of bounds. Now Jeff Stork, generally the guy who begins each match serving. That's long. That's long.
I'm very surprised that Cepega is starting. Number 9 in red. I think he's the weakest middle blocker, or one of them that they have. And keep a lookout for number 5 coming in, Skurikin. I think he's a much better player. The United States will take Cepega out of the match.
Skurikin, a great big blocker. Cepega a little quicker. 1-1. Game 1 for the gold. Bryant, game 1, 5-5 in the gold medal match. And a great deal of siding out by both teams, as is true in most heavyweight matches. A great deal of feeling out. Neither team to this point really in their rhythm. Karai, that ball is hit out by Craig Buck. Chris, you know this team very well. Score tied, or score now 6-5 Soviets lead in game one. Does it favor or disfavor anybody in this situation?
Well, I think both teams have to be kind of happy right now. The United States, because they're not playing very well, and yet they're only 1 point behind. But the Soviets tend to score their points very quickly in a row, blocking at the net. So they're ahead, and they feel when they get a blocking run, they might score 3, 4, 5 points in a row.
Yeah, if there is one trend that the Soviets are trying to explore, that is the quick set in the middle. Hitting quick in the middle. Losev now serves. Soviets lead 6-5 in game one. Buck. Losev gets it. Outside Sorokin, the captain. Partey, Stork the setter. Karai. Cross court, hammers one, side out U.S.
2 blockers on Karai, but with his 40-inch jump, he's able to hit the angle inside the block. A good player can use that wrist to turn it inside.
Karai serves. Dug by Karai. Stavertlik. Blocked by Sapega. Side out Soviets. They lead 6-5 in game one.
Karai so quick, able to dive, able to move. Once again, not wearing any knee pads. The only player in this match that will not wear the knee pads.
Great jump serve by Sorokin. Rob Stavertlik, one of the best servers in the world, had no chance at that. 7-5. Sorokin jump serves again into the net. Sorokin has a twin sister. Not a volleyball player. He's a senior lieutenant in the Soviet Army. 7-5 game one. Yellow card.
And that is a warning, and they're going to administer it on the captain, Karch Karai. One more yellow card in this game for Karai. It would turn into a red card, which would be a point or a side out.
Soviets 2 aces so far in the match. U.S. serves. Karch gets it over. Antonov, the big left-hand hitter.
Great dig.
Well. Timmins.
That's good. Nope.
No. That's called down by Mr. Sasaki, the Japanese #1 referee who is in charge of today's match. Stork serves again. Soviets lead 7-6, game one. Partey gets it. Timmins still alive. Losev. Antonov. Blocked. Antonov again. Blocked again. Stavertlik and Timmins the first time. Antonov, Yaroslav Antonov has been blocked. 7-7 game one.
Antonov's best shot is away from his body. He likes to hit that angle shot. The United States knows it, so Antonov needs to go line. There's another point.
Bad pass by Sorokin to the net. It's above the net. Buck gets it down. U.S. takes the lead 8-7. Timeout. Gennady Parchin wants to talk to his time. 8-7. The gold medal match in men's volleyball. Craig Buck serves. U.S. leads 8-7. Game one. Gold medal match versus the Soviets. And there's a big hit by Andrei Kuznetsov off the block. And the Soviets get the ball.
Serve is so important in this match. When the United States or the Soviets been able to serve well, it really puts a lot of pressure on the offense.
Stavertlik receives well. Passes. Partey kept alive. Losev quick set. Stavertlik. That's out. Off the hand and out, and very, very close. No question, those Stavertlik now 6 kills. Call is made. Fans don't like the call.
I think Stavertlik got a little lucky break that time. That looked very, very close to the line.
Things seem to even out in volleyball just as they do every other sport when it comes to officiating. Timmins. Losev sets. Is that what you call a facial?
That is right in there, the facial category. Inside the block, Steve Timmins not looking. You have to keep your wits about you when you're in at the inside that 3-meter line because the ball coming very quickly.
Andrei Kuznetsov serves. Stork, Karai. One-on-one against Losev. That's easy. Dr. Karch Karai with the flag. You could not come to these matches if you were required to sit with a seatbelt. Timmins serves. Bilde. Dug by Stork. Timmins back row. Off the hand. 9-7 U.S. leads. Chris, you said earlier the U.S. wins game one. Soviets a great deal of trouble coming back.
Absolutely.
Timmins serves. Antonov. who has been the big hitter for the Soviets so far today. That's his 4th kill of the match.
The Soviets, not a good defensive team, where they have to score their points, and their coach knows it. Serve tough and block at the net. That's where the Soviets will make some points.
9-7 U.S. leads game 1. That's it. Timmins just gets it over. Sapega. Blocked back on the court. Antonov. He's the guy who's hot. He'll get it a lot. That's now 5 kills in game 1. Vilde serves. Timmins.
Oh,
Kept
nice
alive by
play.
Sorokolet. Buck, Timmins, Karai. Hits it down.
This matchup, Karai on Losev, is almost unfair. Karai bigger, stronger, more powerful, and the smaller Losev just does not match up. If you're the setter for the United States, you have to be setting Karai every time out there to get that matchup. 6 kills already for Karai.
Sorokolet. Soviets get the ball. U.S. leads 9-8 in game 1. Losev. Timmins. Karai. Takes a little off, handled by the Soviets. Losev. This is Sorokolet. Kept alive. Stavrtlik over. Antonov. Off the hands. Stavrtlik keeps it up. The set by Stork. Kept alive. Kept alive. Sorokolet off the hands and out. Soviets win the point. 9-9.
Karch Karai isolated. You see the reaction time he has. That ball went off to the right side, but it was played up. The United States lost the point.
Losev dinks serve. Stavrtlik gets it. Karai up quickly for the kill. Side out U.S.
I think you're going to see the Soviets do that serve a lot. That little short serve. The United States with only 2 players that pass normally. And when the ball is served short, it's very difficult to receive and then get back out to hit.
Karai 7 kills. The 2 receivers are Stavrtlik and Karai on the serve. Sorokolet gets it off the hand. Soviets get the ball back.
Keep an eye on Sorokolet. He has the jump serve that's so effective. He's got a very unique toss. He doesn't take the long run up. He's got the 2-step drop.
Now the U.S. receives with 3. Timmins gets this one. Oh, Stork. Left-handed kill. And a few left-handed setters in international volleyball.
He was a spiker at Pepperdine. A chance to see Stork, and Losev can do that also, the Soviet setter.
Stork back to serve. 9-9 game 1. Kept alive. The dink. Dug up. Buck. Off the hands and out. 10-9 U.S. leads. Marv Dunphy, head coach. Gary Sato, the assistant in the background.
One play that will not go down against the United States is that tip shot or that dink shot. If you're the Soviets, you have to tell them not to dink.
Stork serves in the net. U.S. leads 10-9 game 1. 10-10 game 1. The Soviet Union has made a couple of substitutions. Zaitsev, a 35-year-old setter, comes in for Losev. And we also have Skorikin, Vladimir Skorikin. Tell me why they're in the match, Chris Marlowe.
Skorikin is in there to hit and block against Karai. He's a great hitter. You see him right there blasting away. He's in there to block Karch Karai. The other substitution, there's Vladimir Skorikin. Used to be a setter, came up. Karai has 9 kills, so they're not doing much with him. The other sub I don't like. They bring in Zaitsev, another setter. He's not in the rhythm. I think it's a bad play.
Zaitsev is also 35 years old, brought out of retirement for this Olympic tournament. Oh, there's a great job by the Soviets keeping the ball alive. Timmins, they don't get that one.
A lot of European teams make that substitution. I think it's ridiculous. You have one setter who's in the rhythm, you bring another setter, and what usually happens with this substitution is there's some disorientation and a couple of mistakes.
All right, now E comes in. Eric Sato, smallest member of the team, 5'11". He'll come with the jump serve.
Lollipop first, just to get it in. Easy one.
Sorokolet hits it in. And the Soviets get the ball back now. Skorikin and Zaitsev come out. Losev, the starting setter, and Antonov, the left-handed hitter, come back in. Still 11-10. U.S. leads in game 1.
Situation substitution. The big man, Antonov, back in the front, and Losev, who will use the jump serve, in the back row.
Karai handles it. Buck the quick set. Off the hands and out. U.S. gets the ball back. Sato at the end of every game and every match is inserted at about 10, 11, or 12 points for that jump serve. That time it didn't work. Karai serves. Losev. Antonov from the other side hits it off the hands and out. Soviets get it back.
That's his shot away from his body. He's like throwing a screwball, not a slider. He likes to hit away from his body.
Stavertlik. Cross court inside the block. U.S. gets it back. Roddy Parchin. Stork has served. U.S. has won 5 of their 10 points. This is the U.S.'s best rotation. That time it's off the hands and out. Soviets get the ball back.
And Jeff Stork has a very fine serve, but one of the reasons he does so well when he is serving, he has Craig Buck, Timmons, and Karai up there to block for him. So that's one of the important things, how big your blockers are when you're serving.
Sapega serves. Stavertlik. They haven't stopped him yet. Stavertlik. 8 spikes in game 1. Sato comes out. Doug Partey now on the front line comes back in.
One thing that bodes very badly for the Soviet Union, they're not blocking balls. That's where they win. When they don't block for points, they have trouble scoring because they can't dig a ball in the backcourt. So when the Soviets don't block, they could be in trouble.
Antonov with another kill, his 8th now of the game. And Troy Tanner comes in replacing Craig Buck. He's a move for defense.
Also a very good ball handler in case the United States has to set a ball.
Tanner out of Pepperdine. Stavertlik. Ooh, he falls right into the standard. But the U.S. gets the ball. Leading 11-10. We've been stuck in this score for several minutes now.
One thing we'll keep a look at, Bob Stavertlik sweats very heavily, and whenever he falls down, 3 of the other players go over and wipe it up. You see his shirt, it's drenched, I can guarantee you. And when he goes down, the other players will go wipe. He's had a terrific first game at 9 kills, but
good serve. Free ball U.S. Tanner gets it over. Not much they could do with that one. Losev. Antonov through the block and down. 11-10. The score remains in game 1. The U.S. leads. Game 1 of the gold medal match. 11-11. The Soviets and the USA have struggled back and forth at 11-10 and now 11-11. We're close to 15 minutes of this initial game in the gold medal match. Stork. Timmons. Kept up but hit out. Once again a side out. U.S. has the ball, which means points. Buck serves. Losev. Field goal. Nobody could get it up. Side out. Soviets.
I think the Soviets are in pretty good shape right now. They're not blocking balls. They're not stuffing balls, but they're putting the ball down on offense, and that's a key. They're getting side outs, but the Soviets expect a blocking run. They haven't timed the U.S. offense well, but expect blocks.
Tough set for Timmons. He is able to get it over. Buck digs it. Still alive. Stavertlik. Losev. Kuznetsov off the hand. Gets it down. 12-11 Soviets in game 1.
Ball is off the hands. You're going to see Jeff Stork slip in a wet spot. His feet go out from under him. We talked about this earlier in the tournament. There's a timeout on the floor, but when the floor is wet, you can very easily slip and get hurt. And Stavertlik, I think, is going to change his shirt right now.
On anything. They've missed set a few balls, and we're waiting for him to call it. He's not going to call it. We got to keep playing. All right? He's not calling anything right now. On number 2, make sure that we get over. That guy is going for hands, all right? Side out and get this game. Let's turn some. Let's go.
Elapsed time in game 1, 31 minutes. Bob Stavertlik went back to the changing area to change his jersey, number 4. There he is. He's changed it. You mentioned the perspiration.
And so did Jeff Stork, and Bob Stavertlik told me he brought 10 jerseys to this match. He's going to change every time he can. He sweats a lot, and once he goes down, it's very tough to get it back up.
You can see the insertion of Jeff Stork in game 3 and the match against Argentina, what it's done for the U.S. volleyball team. Soviets lead 12-11 in this initial game. That ball is wide. 13-11. Soviets lead in game 1.
The United States, they're trying to attack Losev, the smaller blocker, but he did a pretty good job that time. Watch them go out at number 8 red here.
Antonov serves. Stavertlik. Blocked back. Karai. Stavertlik. There's contact. Side out to the U.S. The Soviets 3 unanswered points here to lead 13-11 in game 1.
Slowly, they're starting to get the rhythm of the United States offense. The United States has put in some new plays, Partey out of the back row, and I think the Soviets are starting to catch up a little.
Ooh, Losev tries the quick set, and it works. The quick hook shot, and it works. Off Jeff Stork. Soviets get it back, 13-11. One thing about both these teams, they have several different gears. They can turn it up almost when they want to. Partey, back row. Losev, Sorokalet set very tight and finds the open spot on the U.S. side. Laszlo Karai and White. As the Soviets have game point, and the U.S. and Marv Dunphy take a timeout.
The second timeout by the team from the USA.
Hey, let's side out and start turning them, huh? Okay, keep side out and turn them.
Balls up. Let's get 2 hands on it.
Let's go. Side out right here. Let's go.
Pop them up high so you're gonna get some stuff.
This has been the pattern for the United States in the last 3 matches.
Bob's going over behind you. You got to be on that ball. Let's go. Side out.
The last 3 matches, the Soviet Union has won the first 2 games, and the United States has had to battle back. And this is turning out to be the exact same kind of match. The United States not playing its best in game 1, but the Soviets playing well enough to win.
Andrei Kuznetsov has game 1 on his serve, and he serves it to Stavertlik. Karai gets it down, side out U.S. Strangely, this U.S. men's volleyball team almost appears to enjoy a certain amount of adversity. Then they get cranked up at each other, they get upset with each other, and then they play at another level. Sorokalet. He dinks it between Buck and Stavertlik. Soviets again, second chance at game point. Ryman Vilde serves. Stavertlik, Stork, Karai. Losev that time with the block. Stork. Once again, that left-handed kill. No one up against him. U.S. gets to side out. Coach Dunphy. And it's extreme confidence in this team. Partey serves. Sapega, quick set.
You know, it's not a bad strategy to dink against the Americans, because with the players being as wet as they are, when they dive, you have to wipe up the court, so it could cause a slip. It could cause a play that would win a game for you.
Timmons back row. Off the hands. U.S. gets the ball back. Yeah, Chris, I can't believe that the U.S. sweats any more than the Soviets. Am I wrong?
They do.
Karai serves. Sorokalet blocked. Karai keeps it alive. Stork. Stavertlik. Nice dig. That's Antonov. Karai keeps it up. Stavertlik hammers it. Off the hand.
Terrific play.
14-12. Soviets lead. There was contact at the net, under the net. Low set. Quick set. Sapega off the hand. That's the one thing that the Soviets have done throughout this first game. They now have their 4th attempt at game point. The jump server, Sorokalet, has it.
Good rotation for the Soviets. Big man up front.
Timmons off the hand from the back row.
Talk to you about that sweating incident. When we first went to Japan, when I was on the team, the Japanese coach said, you drink too much, you sweat too much. Well, when we got to be a very good team, he said, okay, it's okay. I don't mind how much water you drink. So the United States has always been a heavy sweating team, but as the United States has moved up in the rankings, no one seems to care as much.
5th attempt now at game point. Sapega will serve. Yuri Sapega. Very deep. Stavertlik handles it. He gets the set back, and he hammers it down off the block. 14-12. That's now 5 attempts at game point by the Soviets. They can't put the U.S. away. And Craig Buck serves. Antonov blocked. Stork's got it. Timmons. That's still alive. Timmons again. The Soviets celebrated one hit too early. 14-13. Soviets lead in game 1. You must win by 2. And Coach Gennady Parchin wants a timeout. He may reprimand his gentleman for celebrating a little too early. There you see the celebration. And then Timmons puts it away for the 13th point. 14-13 game 1.
2 things. Hey, yeah, 2 things. One is keep siding out. This game's ours. Also, Jeff's going to be rotated up. All right, let's go.
Jeff is going to be rotated up. That's Jeff Stork. He's going to move in and take the dink. It's called a red defense. He'll move up and cover the dink shot.
Basically a high ball team. That is, a set high and try to murder it. Craig Buck serves. 14-13. Soviets lead game one. Quick set, Vilday. Karai saves it. Buck. Miscommunication there. Jeff Stork was there for the set. Buck took it.
Well, all the big fellas like to set the ball, and all the little fellas like to hit the ball.
Sixth attempt at game point for the Soviet Union. Antonov serves. That's 6 game points avoided by the U.S. in game one.
Soviets can't block a ball. Only 4 in this game. Usually they have about 8, and that's why they can't put this game away.
Running time of game one, 37 minutes. Soviets lead 14-13. Kuznetsov. Karai keeps it up. Block. Losev and Vilday. Soviets get it back. A 7th attempt at game point. Andrei Kuznetsov serves. Stabertlik. Stork. Karai. Block. Timmons keeps it up. Timmons again. Cross court. Now you see him start to get fired up. That's 7 game points that the Soviets have failed on. Steve Timmons. Sorokalet. It's up. Buck. Stork. Partey right back in his face. Blocked by Ryan Vilday.
Bad set that time by Jeff Stork. Vilday was up and over. He committed on that play. He was all over Partey. Couldn't get it to the outside.
8th attempt at game point. Vilday serves. Timmons. That's in. And the U.S. has their chance again. 14-13 game one.
Soviets are trying to take Timmons' line, as we suggested, but Timmons going inside, so they're making him hit inside, and he's doing it well.
Timmons now 13 kills as the Soviets get the ball back.
Soviets need to go short here. Serve the short serve by Losev. See if he can get it in.
9th attempt at game point. Lollipop serve. Timmons. That's out. And the Soviets win game one. 15-13 in a gold medal match. In game two. That ball with 4 hits was not over the net. Here's the numbers from the first game. Chris, what's significant in your estimation?
Well, I think the blocks were significant. The Soviets came on, registered 3 right at the end. But I think the key thing, the United States not able to convert their plays. The United States had a couple of chances. Stork bumped into Buck. Stork slipped and fell down. A couple players bumped into each other. When you're the best team in the world, like the United States says they are, you have to make those points. And those are the points that the United States really has prided themselves on. And they didn't convert in game one.
Soviets had 9 attempts at game point and finally won it. And the side-out battle continues. That first game took close to 40 minutes, 41 minutes to play. Ryan Vilday now serves. Soviets lead 1-0. You hear Bryant call them sets. We refer to them as games. Internationally, they're known as sets. In the United States, they're known as games. Please allow us both. Both are correct. Steve Timmons back to serve, the most valuable player in the 1984 Olympic volleyball tournament. 14 kills in the match. 1 already in game 2. Cepega, quick set, and that has been a recurring theme by the Soviets.
The United States is serving way too easy. The Soviets able to pass that ball up. When they do, they can run the quick set. The United States staying on the ground to block, and it's not been effective so far.
U.S. has no aces. Soviets 2 at this point. Sorokalet blocked well, but handled by the Soviets. Sorokalet again. Cross court. Timmons. That's Karai. Kept alive. Antonov hits it long. Any contact? No contact. Mr. Sasaki, the Japanese #1 referee, says no contact. Gennady Parchin, head coach of the Soviet Union. Partey serves. No score in game 2. Sorokalet stuffed by Karai and Buck. Back off his chest. 1-0 U.S. leads game 2.
They can make it happen with a tough serve.
Partey. Sorokalet down the middle. U.S. read that very well. They had 3 blockers there, but they didn't get up quick enough.
Well, 2 of them jumped on the wrong player. A good setter, and Losev is able to see the block. I don't like his touch so much, but a good setter is able to see the blockers. If one man jumps, you go to the outside.
Buck comes back with a quick set from Jeff Stork. U.S. gets the ball. Captain Karch-Karai serves. Buck, the oldest member of the U.S. team, and its tallest at 30 years old and 6 feet 9 inches tall. Kuznetsov off the block and out. Soviets get the ball. U.S. leads 1-0 in game 2. We'll have more after a word from your local station. The men's volleyball gold medal match continues. The Soviet Union in red, the U.S. in blue. Game 2, U.S. leads 3-0. Soviets won game 1 15-13. Chris, you said if the Soviets were going to have any chance in this match, they had to win game 1. They did 15-13.
I think they put themselves right into the middle of it, although the United States is playing better in this game.
Marti gets stuffed by Yuri Sapega. And the Soviets get the ball back. Marti out of UCLA, 6'6", 26 years old. This is Valery Losev serving long. Losev is the setter at 6'2". You can see him shaking his head. Marti serves. Quick set, Sapega kept alive, still alive. Free ball now for the U.S.
Goodbye.
You called it. Sorokin up against Karai. Karai hits it inside the block. Cross court. 4-0 U.S. leads. Gennady Parchin, his first time out of game 2. Karai now 13 kills in the match, 2 in the game.
And they're able to isolate him on the outside. Great set by Stork. And when you get one-on-one on the outside, that ball is going down.
Gennady Parchin has made a heck of an admission. Here's Dunphy.
Let's go to 5.
Let's go, guys.
This game.
As I was mentioning Coach Gennady Parchin of the Soviet Union has made a heck of an admission. Last year he said that we used to be the teacher of the world in volleyball. And he said now we are the students to the U.S. He considers this team much superior. Only 2 members of the team that won the gold medal in '80. The U.S. with its superior skills has run off a lot of Soviet volleyball players. They're going with a lot of younger players now. Kuznetsov 22. Vilde 26. Sapega 23. Cherednik, and from the bench, is 22.
See the Soviets missing some serves. They're starting to press a little. The United States out ahead. And when you start missing those serves, it's indication that you're not concentrating. You're maybe a little overhand.
Soviets 3 service errors in the game, 5 in the match, and there's a quick set. Buck puts it down 5-0 game 2. U.S. leads. Karch-Karai serves. Kuznetsov blocked. Jeff Stork, the setter.
It's a spiking error. Kuznetsov one-on-one, but Stork made a great move. It's called dropping into the angle. He moves his left hand over and stuffed it down.
6-0 U.S. Dink kept alive by Stavertlich. Antonov, the big hitter, kept up. Stork. Back set. Timmons. Rocolet handled that one very well. Here's Kuznetsov. He hits it long. Any contact? No contact. 7 straight points for the U.S. in game 2. They trailed the Soviets 1-0 in the gold medal match. They come right back to him. Kuznetsov this time gets the cross quarter. 7-0. The U.S. leads in game 2. Game 2 underway. The U.S. started with 7 unanswered points. The Soviets have come back with 3, and now the U.S. gets its 8th point of the second game. 8-3 the score. Soviets won the first one. The first game, 15-13. Block at the net. 9-3 U.S. leads in game 2, and it looks like the U.S. has turned it up a notch.
They certainly have. They're converting now where they didn't in game 1, but one thing that really signals doom for the Soviet Union, I believe, they're not blocking balls. And much like a football team, if you're based on the running attack and you can't run the football, you're dead. If the Soviets don't start blocking some more balls, this will be a very fast match.
Well, this confirms your feeling. Skorikin comes in. Skorikin is 6 feet 7 inches tall. He replaces Losev. He's in there for blocking. Stavertlich hits it off the hands and out. And now the other double substitution by the Soviets. Zaitsev. Vyacheslav Zaitsev at 35.
When I joined the USA team, Zaitsev was on the team. When I retired, he was still on the team. He retired and came back. He's a terrific story.
You could double for Rob Reiner.
And that is what
a lift. 10-3, U.S. leads in game 2.
And that is why you do not make that substitution. The other setter comes in cold. He has trouble handling the ball. He's the most experienced. This is the greatest setter in Soviet history, and yet he mishandled the ball in a critical game.
Stork. Kimmich down the line. 11-3 in game 2. Well handled by the U.S. Gennady Parchin takes the timeout.
He couldn't get this.
This game 2 has been a run of points for each team. The U.S. started with 7 and the Soviets got 3. The U.S. has come back with 5. 12-3 game 2. Soviets won game 1 15-13. Gold medal match, men's volleyball. The U.S. trying to defend their gold medal of 84. Soviets won in 80. Side out Soviets. Skurikin, your replacement. Vladimir Skurikin comes in. He's going to serve. Stavertlich. Stork. Karai. That's a good dig. Skurikin keeps it alive. Sapega gets it over. Stork. Kept up. Sorokolet. Hammered back by Jeff Stork.
Jeff Stork having one of his best blocking matches. That's 6 stuff blocks for the United States in this game. 9 in the match, and they're just killing the Soviets at the net at this point in time.
Timmins hits it long from the back row. Couldn't quite get it down. And now one of the Randall men of volleyball. Yuri Panchenko comes in. Just 29 years old, but was there in 80. And the U.S. team makes a substitution too. Troy Tanner in, Doug Partee out. U.S. leading 12-3 in game 2. Sorokolet serves. Stavertlich handles it well. Karai. Side out U.S.
That matchup has been in such favor of the United States. Karai against Losev or Karai against the setter Zaitsev. It's just no contest. They can't stop him. They can't jump high enough.
Back row, Skurikin. Contact. They thought he hit the back line. Yellow card to the bench. They thought he hit the back line.
The first referee is signaling down. He's issuing a warning, and the first referee, he's the head chief. It doesn't matter what all the Indians say.
Ahmed Hassan.
Karch is begging, but remember, Ahmed Hassan is from Egypt, and the first referee is from Japan, so they probably don't understand each other.
Tell us what happened here. What are we looking for?
Karai is saying he's on the line.
He was. That 3-meter line, when you're in the back row, you cannot hit from that line.
And the first referee is telling Karch Karai, I saw the ball down. I don't care what my friend says. Get away from me. The Soviets are serving. And that's his prerogative.
Sure, but apparently he's the only one who did not see it.
And that's Karch Karai's second yellow card. He picks up a lot of yellows, not as many reds, though. If you get a red, that's big trouble. That's a point or a side out.
He's the captain of the team, and he is the only one who should be able to talk to the #1 referee. Soviets have the ball on the serve. U.S. leads 12-3, game 2. Timmins hits it wide.
One advantage to being captain, and why I liked being captain in 1984, you're allowed to yell and scream at the ref. They usually let the guy with the biggest mouth get in that captain spot, able to yell. Karch likes that.
Sapega serves. Buck just tips it over the net. Kept alive. Panchenko. Panchenko gets a point for the Soviet Union. 12-5. U.S. leads.
Terrific play by Panchenko. He goes high off the hands. Karai makes a dig, but Tanner went to dive for it. He tries to get up, but could not.
Timeout for the U.S. 12-5. They lead in game 2. Soviets won game 1 15-13. It's the best of 5. Marv Dunphy.
Yeah, they run you right next to because they're releasing the outside.
Here we
Hey,
go.
keep side and get this game. Let's go.
All right, let's side out. Come on. Okay, drop on that turn.
This men's volleyball team, probably the most sophisticated in scouting you'll find in the world. They use videotape the way the NFL does. They train year-round. Marv Dunphy thinks the chemistry on this team is perfect. They're very diligent. They're intelligent. There are 10 college graduates on this team. There isn't a great deal of motivational talking that Marv Dunphy or Gary Sato must do. Just get them there on time. Let them play. 12-5 game 2 kept alive. Timmons to Vertley. That's out. Caught the net, not the hand. 12-6.
The United States has gone a little flat here. The Soviets starting to catch up. It happens a lot with the United States team when they get that big lead. Sometimes that causes problems. They go a little flat.
Soviets with 3 unanswered points. That kill gives the ball back to the U.S. Jeff Stork serves. Panchenko called in by the Korean linesman. Mr. Sasaki agrees. And Zaitsev serves. Soviets trailing 12-6 in game 2. Vertley. He gets it down. It's off the block. Here comes Sato. Here comes Doug Partee. Coming out are Troy Tanner and Craig Buck.
Sato is coming in for serving and defense. They're also putting in a big blocker, Partee, in the front line. So Eric Sato will serve the jump serve. He'll get the first one in. Very tough to serve this off the bench. We've seen him rip them against Argentina.
Sato family, the first family of volleyball in the country, I believe. Older brother Gary, an assistant coach. Sister Leanne on the women's team. Nice block that time at the net. Yuri Panchenko.
Interestingly, the Soviet Union and the United States has not scored a point since that argument with Karai and the referees. The Soviets have scored 3 points in a row, and since that argument, it took a little something out of the United States, it seems.
Here's another big blocker off the bench for the Soviets. Yuri Cherednik, 6'8". Panchenko serves.
This kid can play. We saw him last year, or I did. He's big.
Zaitsev sets. Cherednik. Blocked right back. Doug Partee and Steve Timmons.
And that's not Cherednik's fault. He hit it into the block, but no one covered him. The other players are supposed to circle around him and bring that ball back up.
U.S. with 10 stuff blocks at the net in the match, 7 in this game. Bilde, quick set by Zaitsev. And the U.S. stuck on 12 points here for quite a while. Bob Trumpe along with Chris Marlowe. We're at Chomshield Gymnasium for the finals of the men's volleyball tournament, the gold medal match, the U.S. versus the Soviet Union. The first time in Olympic volleyball history these two teams have met for the gold medal. The U.S. the defending gold medal winner in '84. The Soviets, when the U.S. boycotted, won in '80. Now beginning to hammer the ball even harder, Skorikin.
And the setter for the Soviet, Zaitsev, is starting to play much better. He's getting into the rhythm. Remember, he is their greatest all-time setter, brought out of retirement to come in the backup spot, and that's what he's doing.
Partee that time hits it inside the block. Side out U.S. Craig Buck comes back in. Eric Sato out.
We might mention that Eric Sato now cannot come back into this game. You're only allowed 1 substitution per position, so Buck is in the match, or in this particular game, for good, and Sato is out.
Quick set all day has worked for the Soviet Union.
And that's part of the United States blocking strategy. They don't jump so that they can get to every other play but the quick set. If you run the perfect quick set, they're not going to block that most of the time.
Jump serve. Cherednik handled well by Stavertlik. And Karai hits it out. 12-7. U.S. began with 7 unanswered points. Soviets came back with 3. And the U.S. got 4. And now it's 4 unanswered points for the Soviets. Zaitsev outside. Panchenko. Dink.
Beautiful shot.
No one could get to it. 12-8. U.S. leads in game 2.
And the United States still has not scored a point since that argument.
The argument, whether Skorikin was on the 3-meter line. 5 unanswered points for the Soviets. Cherednik again the jump serve. Handled well. Timmons off the hands, out. U.S. gets it. Stavertlik again on the floor.
And you see he's got the wiping crew. He can't do it himself because he's trying to dry off his hands. So the wipers come after him. It's like it's quite an experience to be out there when you're dripping wet.
Zaitsev. Panchenko. Stverlik keeps it up. That's Karai. Stverlik. Ooh, that was a homer. U.S. had been stuck on 12 for quite a while now. 13-8. Stverlik, 4 kills in the game, 16 in the match. Quick set. It continues to work.
One thing interesting about the setter, number 3, Zaitsev, he'll stay on the ground to set the ball. Losev, the other setter, jumps in the air. Jumping in the air makes it more deception. Zaitsev is a little more predictable, but he's very experienced and has a good release.
Timmins. Through the block and down. U.S. gets the ball back. Ball means points in volleyball. 13-8 in game 2.
Soviets still can't block a ball. Only 2 in this game, 8 in the match so far, and that's well below their average.
Panchenko blocked. Kept alive by the Soviets. Bilday and Sapega run together, and Mr. Sasaki is saying that's a double hit.
Actually, the ball came out pretty well, but they bumped into each other, and that signals to the ref that there is confusion.
Game point. It's in by Panchenko. U.S. had a game point on their serve.
Now Zaitsev will serve. He looks a lot like Rob Reiner, meathead. He's got that roundhouse serve.
Stverlik. Timmins. U.S. second attempt at game point. Craig Buck will serve. Soviets won game 1, 15-13. Gold medal match. Skorikin finds a spot. Side out Soviets.
Why Skorikin isn't in the match all the time, I'll never know. He's a great blocker, a tremendous hitter. He's one of the best hitters in the world, 1986, so named at the World Championships. But somehow he doesn't start, but he's a good reserve.
Panchenko. Stork. Timmins. Let's see, that's 4 rows deep. Off the hands of Panchenko. U.S. a third attempt at game point in game 2. There's Gennady Parchin, the coach of the Soviets. Stverlik serves. Cherednik off the hands and out. Very quiet in Shamshield Gymnasium. Ryan Bilday serves. 14-8 U.S. leads in game 2. Bilday serves long.
I'm really surprised the Soviets don't use the jump serve a little more. It seems that gives the United States much more trouble.
The Soviets had 9 attempts at game point in game 1 and finally won. The U.S. now on their 4th attempt at game point. And they're still trying to win. Skorikin serves. Marv Dunphy, the coach, watches. Very entertained watching these two teams play. Timmins, back row, block. Karai. Stork. Third time he's had that left-handed kill. The U.S. now with their 5th attempt at game point. Dunphy told Partey where to serve it. They served it to Cherednik. Skorikin.
Can Vladimir pummel the ball or what?
There's some missiles being shot off today by both sides. That's 5 attempts at game point for the U.S. in game 2. 5 attempts failed. Cherednik serves. Karai. Here comes number 6 for the U.S.
Now, if you're the United States, you want to close it out because you give the other team a little hope, a little momentum when they keep siding out, much like game 1. I think that's one of the reasons the United States got off to that good start.
Panchenko. Going to take 7 if they're going to get it done. Miss on their 6th attempt at game point. Now Yuri Sapega serves. From over the shoulder of Gennady Parchin. Sapega serves. Ooh, bad pass. Bad pass. Stverlik did not handle that serve very well at all.
Well, one thing the Soviets are trying to do is serve Stverlik almost all the time. They want to stay away from Karai if they can. However, that one goes right to him, and that's a mistake.
Stverlik kept alive by Cherednik. Bilday off the hands. Out of bounds.
Feel the momentum changing just a bit here to the Soviets.
Sapega serves it into the net. 14-10. The U.S.'s 7th attempt at game point. Jeff Stork. And the chant goes up. Panchenko kept up. Karai. Stork. Blocked and out. Game 2 to the U.S. 15-10. It's a game apiece.
And the Soviets a little confused on who to block. The ball out of bounds off Vilde. Are sweating.
There's the stats. Game 3 underway. U.S. serves. Confusion by the Soviets. They get first point of game 3.
I'm really surprised the Soviet coach is going with Zaitsev as the setter. I think this is a big mistake. Zaitsev, 2 years out of retirement. He's a good player, but he's past his prime. He can't do it anymore. They need to get Losev back in the match.
And there's a shank by Yuri Panchenko into the net. Look, a service ace, 2-0. They serve to Panchenko again. This time Skorikin turns setter. That's it off the hands, and the Soviets get the ball.
I think the reason Parshin is doing this, however, is to get his biggest blocking team in the match. He's got his biggest setter. His tallest players are in there. And I think it's a mistake, though. It's going to suffer. Their ball control is really hurting.
Kept alive. Stavrtlik outside. Off the hands. The U.S. gets the ball. They started out game 2 with 7 straight points. If you're wondering about the name Stavrtlik, it's Czechoslovakia. He takes a great deal of kidding about that lack of vowels in his name. Timmins to the floor. Stavrtlik spelled C-T-V-R-T-L-I-K. Bob, buy me a vowel. Stavrtlik. 17 kills in a match, 1 in the game for Stavrtlik. Knuckled up there by Craig Buck. Panchenko again. Locked off Karch. Karai. Quick set. And Doug Partee gets it down. The Soviets still not blocking very well.
I just don't understand why they're using this lineup. This is one of the stranger lineups I've ever watched for the Soviets.
That time off the hands. Soviets get it.
They took out Kuznetsov, one of their brightest young players. They took out their setter. I'm sure their coach knows what he's doing, but he's making a big mistake. This game is going to be a rout if they stay with this lineup.
Stork. Left-handed kill. And U.S. gets the ball.
I have to think that Losev on the bench, their setter that has gotten them here, that has been their #1 setter, that has beaten the United States, has to be fuming on the bench right now.
Karai. Skorikin keeps it alive. Panchenko will just bump it over. Chance for the U.S. Karai off of Zaitsev. It's kept alive. Sapega. 3-0 U.S. leads in game 3. Losev, the setter, is standing there very comfortably on the sideline. Stavrtlik. Buck over the block, but it's handled well. Antonov kept alive by Stavrtlik.
Great up.
Zaitsev. I think Karch made a mistake. He dinked it over, and the Soviets got it.
Watch Bob Stavrtlik able to go left. There's going to be a swampland when they wipe that up, but a tremendous flipper backhand getting that ball in play.
3-1. U.S. leads in game 3, and there's that matchup. Karai against the setter. It was Losev, and now it's Zaitsev.
Whole Olympic career based on this one match. Chance to win a gold medal. Coach takes you out.
Block. Craig Buck. Bob Stavrtlik on the Soviets' big hitter today. Antonov. 4-1. U.S. leads game 3. Game apiece. U.S. now with 11 stuffed blocks. That one hit wide. No contact. 5-1. There's Valery Losev.
What's very ironic, he used to be Zaitsev's backup. Zaitsev retired, came back, and now Zaitsev is Losev's backup. Now Zaitsev is back in the match. There's some crazy things in the Soviets.
Another great block. Bob Stavrtlik. The ball is down. 6-1. U.S. leads in game 3. Karai serves. Zaitsev at 35 sets. Oh, nice dig. Timmins. Timmins gets it back and called out with a late call. Side out to the Soviets. U.S. leads 6-1 in game 3.
Volleyball says you stand up and warm up the entire match. I thought it was ridiculous because I'd stand down there and warm up. By the 5th game, I was so tired I couldn't even go in the match. It's ridiculous. Why not sit on the bench and rest? When he tells you to warm up, go in.
7-2. The U.S. now leads in Game 3. The U.S. flags certainly present in Chomshill Gymnasium. And a service ace by Craig Buck. Yuri Panchenko handled it. Sapega comes over, and it hits off of him out of bounds. 8-2. Game 3, U.S. leads.
And finally, Parshin is going to put back in Kuznetsov. This is better for the Soviets in terms of ball control.
Look behind the bench. Valery Lotsev is standing behind the bench, wondering if his coach has forgotten about it. Antonov kept alive by Karai. Timmins. Sapega keeps it up. Skorikin. Antonov. That was Antonov into the net. The U.S. now with 6 unanswered points. There's Lotsev right behind the bench. Coach, you remember my name? You remember my number? I'm here to play, not watch. I watched in 80. There's number 3, Zaitsev, the man who played.
On that, okay? When Craig's hitting outside, it's a double quick. Red will be open in the middle on that, on quicks.
Keep putting the pressure on there.
Hey!
Double digits here.
Wait, hold on a second. Concentrate and let's get this game under our belt right from here on in. Let's go.
Outside the Soviet Union, the U.S. plays the Soviet Union very well. Inside the Soviet Union, whoops, it doesn't quite work that way.
Well, when you play in the Soviet Union, it's not like playing in Los Angeles or Boston. They have a tremendous home court advantage.
It's not like playing anywhere else in the world.
Exactly.
Forget Los Angeles or Detroit. Sorokalet set very tight. That ball was down.
Just to finish that point, the 2 toughest places to win in the world, at Moscow and at Havana. Let me tell you from experience.
We are in Seoul. U.S. leads 9-2 Game 3. Sorokalet serves the ball into the net. He's been rather quiet. The team captain for the Soviet Union has not really had his usual good match.
Well, he's not getting isolated on the outside, and that's what he needs. The United States getting 2 blockers up almost every time, and it's simply because the setter Zaitsev is not very deceptive. Matter of fact, he doesn't look off his receivers as a good analogy. He just sets the ball where he's going to set the ball, and the blockers can watch that.
9-2. Skorikin serves for the Soviets. Stork. Timmins. He hits it off Kuznetsov's hand. It's out of bounds. 9-2. U.S. with the ball. His nickname is Red. You can certainly understand why. Antonov has been an awful big hitter for the Soviets. 9-2 Game 3. U.S. leads. (12-2) Game 3. U.S. leads. Big hitter for the U.S. Steve Timmins, 29 kills, 5 in this game. For the Soviets, 19 kills, 4 in the game. Valery Lotsev, you lobbied long and hard, Chris. He's back in the match.
Well, it's too late now. A lot of good it'll do you. They're down 12-2. Maybe the Soviets can make a run with him in.
Soroka left that time. Combination through the middle. He's up free and clear. And he gets the ball back for the Soviets. This is Igor Runov into the match. Timmins. Now his 30th kill of the match, his 6th of the game.
The United States powerfully in the middle. They're beating the Soviets to the punch, and the Soviets still with 8 stuffs. They can't block a ball.
Sorokalet kept alive by Karai. Stavertly. Blocked. And it's blocked out. 13-2, the U.S. leads, and that little period of time when Gennady Parshin had Lotsev out of there and the Soviets could not make a run may prove to be a very big error in judgment.
Well, it's
Chris.
no secret in the world of volleyball that the Soviet players do not get along with their head coach Gennady Parshin. A lot of the players have told me confidentially that they don't like him, that they're not sure about him, that when he's going to make substitutes and what he's going to do.
Dave Saunders comes in. Scott Fortune is in for the U.S. Fortune 8. Sanders 2. Stork. Timmins just bumps it over. Lotsev. Runov. Kept alive. Losev again. Kuznetsov. Kept alive. Set outside Timmons. Oh! 31 kills for the match. 7 in the game. A perfect set by Jeff Stork. Timmons catches it right in mid-stride. Stavertlik serves. Fortune and Timmons with the block. 13-2 in game 3.
Just to finish my point about the coaching, what will be interesting between games is to watch the Soviet huddle. Do the players talk back to the coach? If they do, that's a sign of dissension, because internationally the players don't talk back to the coach. They don't give him any lip.
Karai off of Losev's hands, kept alive. Losev gets it over. Timmons. 32 for the match. 8 for the game.
Well, the Soviets are so disorganized right now. It's just like target practice.
Eric Sato into the match. He replaces Steve Timmons. Sato will come in with the jump serve.
And you can bet he's going to put some heat on this one.
Looking for the ace from E. Handled by Sorokalet. Saunders keeps it up. The U.S. cannot get it over. 13-2. Losev to serve. Game 3 tied at a game apiece. Karai. Fortune. Kuznetsov. Saunders handles it. Karai into the net.
Key for the Soviets right now, they want to turn this match back around. They have to get some momentum in this particular game. I don't think they're going to win this one, but if they can get up to 6, 7, 8, give them a little impetus for game 4.
There's the nice little dump by Jeff Stork. He's had 8 kills.
He's able to do it because he's left-handed at the net. Now, he's considered the setter, but he's also the best hitting setter in the world. He's able to jam it down easily.
Scott Fortune to serve. 13-3. Will return after the Olympics to Stanford to complete his degree. His redshirting this year to play on the men's international volleyball team has made his appearance in the gold medal match. There's Igor Runov with a spike. Runov at 6'9".
And he's not really one of their better players. I'm surprised he's in there also.
Well, you mentioned they can't block at 6'9". That's certainly one reason. Bilde gets the kill. That was a bad pass to the net. 13-4 now. U.S. leads in game 3.
Get some momentum. If you're a Soviet fan, that's what you want to do.
Karai hits it down the line through the block of Bilde and Sorokalet. U.S. gets the ball. Karai now 4 kills in the game, 20 in the match. He serves. Bilde, quick set. Fortune keeps it up. Stavertlik. Sato. 40-inch jump. He hits from the back row. Kept alive. Stavertlik, left-handed, off his head. Side out, Soviets.
Eric's sister Leanne Sato got a kill in one match that we did from the back line. Eric usually doesn't get to hit very much because he's small. That's why he doesn't play in the front row.
Buck. He's called big. 6'9", 30 years old. He gets the ball back for the U.S.
The Soviets waiting for the second man. Waiting for the second man, and it's too late. You heard Marv Dunphy talk about that. They're waiting for Stavertlik, so the United States has changed their offensive pattern and done it very well.
Free ball. That serve was so good that the Soviet player had to dive, and it surprised the U.S. so much it ended up being a side out for the Soviets.
That was a terrible play by the United States. That play should never, ever happen.
Buck. 13-4.
Hey, a team comes back on you. The Soviets make a rally. You'll remember that play the rest of your life. They come back to win this game.
Buck serves. Skorikin kept up by Buck. Stork. Stavertlik. He finds his spot. Game point. Game 3. Buck serves. Tied at a game apiece. Skorikin. That's off Scott Fortune's hand. Side out to the Soviets. In game 2, the U.S. had 7 attempts at game point. Finally made it. In game 1, the Soviets had 9 attempts at game point and finally made it. And Bob Stavertlik now with the 2nd attempt at game point. to win game 3. Skorikin kept alive. Timmons. Sorokalet keeps it up. Vilde blocked. Game 2, U.S. 15-4. They lead 2 games to 1. They switch ends. And the power of the U.S. team beginning to show. The lack of blocking by the Soviets. Game 3 is a blowout.
Offensive domination. The life has gone out of the Soviets. Watch this cover. Watch this. They set up the campfire defense. All standing around.
The U.S. a game away from success. Marlowe back at the gold medal match in men's volleyball. The U.S. leads 2 games to 1. The Soviets lead in game 4, 4-0. Sorokalet serves. Soviets blocking a little better, but that time Doug Partee with a kill.
This game is a completely different story. The Soviet coach started with what I think is their best lineup. They have Skorikin in the middle, the big number 5. They have the little setter in there, Losev, and they're giving the United States some troubles now. They're blocking. They have 2 stuffs already, and the United States has fallen behind.
That time a stuff by Doug Partee. 4-1 Soviets lead in game 4. Block out. Soviets get the ball back. Skorikin, one of the Soviet players who did not start this match but came in later. Partee gets a hammer right back at him by Kuznetsov. And the U.S. gets the ball. That ball out. 4-1 Soviets lead game 4.
Yeah, both teams are serving so easy right now. Anybody could hit the ball down. The easy lollipop serve. You have to toughen it up. Antonov, I'm really very surprised he's not serving a jump serve. He has one of the best in the world.
Left-hander. He serves an ace. Kartskarai, one of the best receivers of serve in the world, could not get to it.
He also has a very good float serve that drops onto the floor.
5-1. Stork again.
There is no defense when Stork is at the net because they're expecting him to set the ball. So Vilde caught on the ground. 9 kills for Jeff Stork. He's having a marvelous match.
Kept alive. Stavertlik. Partee can't get it up. 5-1 Soviets lead in game 4. It's 2 games to 1. The U.S. leads. Game 4. Soviets lead 5-1 in game 4. Timmons back row. Side out U.S. Chris, you think without question this is the Soviets' best lineup, and you're wondering why it hadn't been in the match all along.
Well, I think that perhaps Gennady Parshin, he coaches a club team. Yuri Sapega is one of his players, and Skorikin is not. So I think he starts Sapega out of allegiance, but what a way to lose a medal by sacrificing 1 game. He practically gave game 3 to the United States.
This is a lousy time to show allegiance. Gold medal match in 1988 against the defending gold medal winner. Timmons. Ball blocked back at it.
And the Soviets able to get 2 blockers out there, and that's the key to stuffing Timmons. You have to get 1 on the line and 1 blocker in the seam. Make Timmons hit cross court.
Losev serves. Off the block.
Greg Buck will do that every time. When he's covered by 2, he's always double teamed. He'll dink right over the blocker.
Buck serves. 5-2.
And I think what they're asking is to change the ball. Perhaps it was wet. They're going to change the ball or get one of them out of there. They're taking 1 ball out and putting in a new one.
Losev keeps it alive. Antonov blocked. Sorokalet keeps it up. Antonov again, off the hands and out. And the Soviets get the ball out again.
Not to beat this point into the ground, but Antonov did not even play in game 4 or make that game 3. So something's wrong when he's not in the match.
Stork. Stavertlik off the hands and out. Antonov, 22 kills in the match. 3 in this game already.
Down the middle, make it tough.
Bob Trumpy along with Chris Marlowe. 5-2 in game 4. U.S. leads 2 games to 1. Gold medal match, Karai. Kept up by Skorikin. Sorokolet. Kuznetsov. Oh, if Buck lets it alone, it goes out. As it is, side out Soviets.
One problem on that play, the ball is going so fast, sometimes you don't know when the ball has touched the block, and I think that's what Craig thought. There might have been a touch.
Skorikin serves. Stork. Karai. Right at Lotsev. Side out U.S.
Karai has been a hitting machine. 24 kills. He's hitting over 400, and against the Soviet block, that is quite an accomplishment.
Timmins will serve. Soviets lead 5-2. Game 4. U.S. leads 2-1. Antonov. Buck keeps it up. Stork. Karai. Stuffed at the net by Ryan Vilde and Antonov.
If you're Gennady Parshin, the Soviet coach, you want to see a little more of this. Big hands over the net, 6'7" and 6'8". And they're starting to get to the United States at the net.
Stork again. Done an excellent job. Stork with his 10th kill of the match. 2nd of the game already. Partey serves 5-2, and Lotsev returns the favor with a left-handed kill.
Remember this, Bob. All setters love to hit, but you can't do it too much because you don't want to get into that hitter mentality. The setter's job is to run the team, but occasionally it works very well.
Stork again. His 11th kill of the match.
I think what the United States needs to do right now is serve a little tougher. The United States, they're not one of the better serving teams in the world. If they can put a little pressure on the Soviets, they can make some points.
That time Svertlik right up at the net with Vilde. Timmins keeps it up, but it's out. Over the net, but out. Soviets get the ball. Ryman Vilde to serve.
See how the Soviets set up their block. Do they get 2 blockers on 1 attacker?
Timmins. He takes it over the block on the dink. U.S. gets the ball back. We'll call that a kill. 35 for the match. Stork serves. Lotsev, quick set. Handled well. Svertlik. Off the hand. Point USA. 5-3. Game 4. U.S. leads 2-1.
Svertlik, 23 kills, hitting over 450.
Sorokolet. Off the hands and out. Lotsev will serve. Soviets lead 5-3. Game 4.
And as you can see, the U.S. team now out in front 7-6. In the 4th game, they lead in games 2-1. Let's go on over to Chamshul Gymnasium. Bob Trumpy and Chris Moore.
The U.S. has just taken a lead in game 4, 7-6. Let's listen to Marv Dunphy.
Right on that sucker. That's a matchup we want. Stay spread on. Hits line. You got it to your right. Don't put them together. Remember that blocking tape we did?
Yeah.
All right.
We got our first lead.
You get into the court, and these guys are rotating this way on defense. Don't even worry about digging the line. Just worry about the jump.
On 3-man on 2, you mean?
No, yeah, just on 10 or 2 out here. Get into the court and split it. Get both sides.
Usually very mild-mannered. I think Marv Dunphy's starting to get a little excited.
I don't blame him. 7-6. The U.S. leads in game 4. They lead 2-1. Kept alive and over. That was pinball. That wasn't volleyball.
Svertlik.
Again. Stork. Timmins. Down the line and in. Chris, you said at the outset of this match, Timmins would be the big guy. They're going to him. This is pinball.
Absolutely, and these are the kind of plays that can really help you out. The ball goes over, and the United States scored.
8-6, game 4. That time Buck could not keep it up.
The United States likes to run what they call their transition game. It's not always stuffing the ball down, but it's touching the ball, then passing it up to the net and running the players in and out. And I think the United States has the best transition game. Watch how many balls they touch and then convert for points.
Antonov serves. Nice pass to the net. A good set by Stork, and Partey gets the ball back for the U.S. 8-6. Game 4. Lotsev. Antonov. Blocked. Karai and Greg Buck.
Coach Karai really starting to take over.
9-6. U.S. leads. Lotsev. Vilde right back at him. Back again. Things are getting a little reckless here. Soviets trying to do it There's 6 players out there, and it appears the Soviets and some of the U.S. team trying to do it all themselves.
Well, it's very frustrating when you hit a ball that you think is down and it's kind of poked back over. The United States has had a couple of those plays, but that's a play that the United States would make easily in the backcourt, where the Soviets not the great defensive team in the back.
Karai serves. 9-6 U.S. leads game 4. Sorokilet. It's the corner of the court. Side out Soviets.
Soviets need to get to work at the net. If they are to come back, they have to block some balls. They have to get some production out of their front line.
Soviets just 14 blocks for the match at the net. The U.S. has 18. Stork again. He has been the big surprise at this match. 12 kills in the match, 4 in the game, and he goes back to serve. Sorokilet, 3 men up. Sorokilet gets it through the block. Side out Soviets. 9-6. U.S. leads in game 4. Game 4, the U.S. just won possession of the ball on the longest rally of the match. U.S. leads 2 games to 1. U.S. defending that 84 gold medal. Soviets winners in 80. On-off serves for the Soviet Union. And Doug Partey, a kill for the side out.
See Karai wiping up the floor as he goes. He threw the little towel off. They'll take it out.
Kuznetsov hits it long.
And they're still wiping that one spot. Jeff Stork working furiously.
10-7. U.S. leads in game 4. They lead 2 games to 1. Gold medal match. Bilday. Berkeley keeps it up. Stork. Buck outside. It's down. 11-7. U.S. leads game 4. Timeout Soviets.
We'll get you another one. Hey.
Take a win on this.
Yeah, one play at a time. Don't think about the game. One play at a time. And Karts, Jeff is going to be up. Whoever's the right back, I don't want you to dig any balls. I want you to get the jump. Right back into the court.
My fault.
Okay? Right back's into the court. Don't come over for the tip. Right back's
Here we
into
go. Come on here. Whoa.
Jeff, Bob, I like you doing your combos on the right side. Hey, no huts for him. Combos over here. Move down.
Did I understand correctly? Players feel that on this serve, with Partey back there, they can win this match. Let's see what happens. 11-7, game 4. Karai digs it. Timmons. That's one. 12-7. Timmons now 7 kills in a game, 39 in the match.
And 28 digs for Karch Karai, the leading defensive player. What a tremendous dig.
Quick set. Kept alive. Stork. Buck. That's 2. 13-7. Game 4. You can see it. Service ace. Out. Game, match, and medal point. Stop block. No, they're saying the U.S. into the net. 14-7. Substitution. Scott Fortune comes in for Doug Partey. Kuznetsov serves. Timmons into the net by the Soviets. Karch Karai, the team captain, serves at 14-7. U.S. leading 2 games to 1. Gold medal point. Off the hand.
Soviets need to take some chances now. They need to use that jump serve and get the block into position.
Bilday serves. Karai. Buck. Kept alive by Bilday. Sorokilet. U.S. into the net. Calling the U.S. into the net. 14-8.
I don't know why people are booing. It looked like an obvious net. I think that was a good call.
Rise, Stork, Stavertli. Timmons keeps it up. Stork. Sorokolet. Stavertli. Off the hands. Still they cannot keep it up.
Difference in defense right there.
U.S. a third attempt at game, match, and medal point. It's up. Buck sets. Timmons still alive. Knuckled up. Fortune. Stavertli. Great digging by the Soviets. Losev. Sorokolet. Kept alive again. Stavertli. Out. Soviets have the ball. Timmons gets it back for the U.S. Here comes Eric Sato. Here comes Doug Partee. Timmons now 40 kills in the match. 8 in the game. Point, game, match, and medal point. The U.S. men successfully, for just the second time in Olympic volleyball history, defend the gold medal. The Soviets did it in '64 and '68, and now they are still Olympic champions until 1992 in Barcelona.